Welcome, students. This is a tour of Actively Learn and some of the tools that might be helpful for you. When you log in, this is, as you can see over here, this is in student mode, so this should be what you see on your screen. This is the 8th grade early U.S. history class, so your classes might look different depending on which one you happen to be in. Over here, if you look at where My Data is, you can take a look at that and you can get the reports for yourself. These are also things that your teacher can see as well. So how many hours read, pages, vocab lookups, pages, paces, things like that. These are kind of the reports that your teacher gets anyway. So when you aren't doing the reading, your teacher knows about that, just so you're aware of that. There's different ways you can look at it. Proficiency is just, since I haven't actually read anything as a student yet, this is, you can get some ideas and taking a look back at how you're doing with it. The vocabulary section under reports is words that you would want defined, and you can keep a record over here if you wanted to. It's not something you have to use, but it might be a good, just know it's there for you if you want it. And then the writing log. These are where you can see all of your different writings that you have done for the different topics and get some feedback with that as well. So this is a little known place where most people don't go, but it might be helpful for you. It's also a place where teachers do look from time to time. We can get that data whenever we have an assignment. But more importantly, I was going to go into, with this class, just kind of give you some tours of when you are doing an assignment, whether it be for a video or it goes into an article. These are the kinds of things that might help you to be more successful when you're answering the questions. So when you first look, here's all of the assignments that have been given to the 8th grade class, and you can see when it says 5 unanswered, 10 answered, that's how many questions are in there. So sometimes students will answer like 1 or 2 and they're like, oh, I'm done, finished. But they forgot that there's a whole lot more that goes into it. So for instance, this one has 11 unanswered questions. So we're going to go to one that maybe would be helpful. This one has 7 unanswered on Columbus Day. So it's always important to read the assignment directions. And then if it's a poll, that's one thing where it's not right or wrong. It's just getting some information on you. It's not collected. It's not used in evaluating you. It's just to get you thinking about things. But there are a few things that some people might not know about that aren't using. When you click on here, this is where it will read aloud to you. That does count as reading, but yes, you do have to pay attention. So when you click on it, and you have to, oh, sorry, got to answer to do that first. We'll select yes. Well, answer the question to reveal the text. So it gives you these little pieces up here. Do you celebrate Columbus Day? But if you put your cursor up here or anywhere else, you can click on there.
Perspectives on Columbus Day
and I don't know if you can hear that as we're going.
The holiday was first created in 1892.
And I could push pause, and it just goes through word by word. The reading speed you can change. You can even change the voice in it if you want. Don't get too distracted with it. It would be kind of fun to hear British Emma reading to me. That'd be kind of fun. Highlight word being spoken, you can turn that on or turn it off if that's distracting to you. But this is another tool that might be helpful to you as you are reading. It's not bad if you read by yourself, but if you find that the text is challenging and it is distracting to you because the words are too hard, maybe this would be helpful the first time through. Some students use this tool to push play, listen to the whole thing first, and then go back and reread it for understanding a second time, as opposed to comprehension. Now the next one is over here was notes. And if you click, whoops, let's go ahead and click out of there. If you hear just notes, it's just going to give you the article itself. And then over here is assignment data. So when you click on assignment data, it tells you all the questions that you have coming up. So this is the important piece. There's just the poll questions so far. And as you go through, we're going to find out, I'm going to come back and look at this assignment data because you can kind of keep track of progress as you're going if you choose to. So you'll know how successful you are. So when you look over here, you can print. Notifications would be the feedback from teachers. You can change the text size to whatever you want it to be. Don't get too lost in the theme and the color, paragraph numbering. Sometimes it's helpful. Dyslexic settings. This might be helpful for some students. For other people, it is distracting. So you can see how it just changes the font and everything else. So you can see how it's the same words and everything, but if it's too distracting for you or it makes it too long, you can restore defaults and it'll go back to the original piece. So again, this might be a tool for some people, the text settings, that might be helpful for you. And then as we'll just go through, let's go back to notes over here. So, whoops, click off the notes. So you'll notice this part down here is blue highlighted. And then over here, we start seeing some information in the sidelines. So this that's highlighted, this is giving more information about the highlighted portions. So down here is a definition for indigenous. So if it's highlighted in pink, it's probably a definition. If it's highlighted in blue, it's probably some interesting fact or it gives you some more detail to help your understanding with it. Notice not everything is done. However, there are some tools that sometimes you can use along the way to help you with that. Now, as we go through and we're looking through, I notice that we're reading through and I'm noticing it's giving some more information. That's fantastic. And then down here, we have the aligned standards. Why do you think Columbus wrote this report to the king and the queen? If I click on here, I can start typing my answer. I can even pin it if I want to. For most of your questions, or if not all of them, there are some helpful hints. So this is the standard question. This is what I need to write to. This is where I use my PEA paragraph skills. And I can write to this. So I need to write a point. I need to restate the question. I need to provide evidence. And I need to provide analysis. So if I take a look at it, on most of yours, there will be some bonus section down below to give more information of like, what kind of answer is it looking for? So if I just answered this one as simply as, why do you think Columbus wrote this report to the king and the queen? So he could be cool? Well, that's not wrong, but that's not exactly showing that I learned anything from reading this article about Christopher Columbus. So sometimes those helpful hints down below might help. You'll notice over here, there is a box, and it's not just, it says Atlantic Ocean, Christopher Columbus's route. If I click on that, it shows a little bit bigger piece, and I can see a map, and I can open it in a new tab. Again, this is to show and help you with the understanding. So make use of your tools that are over in the sidelines as well. And then you'll notice, whoops, as I kind of go through here, see that little number in the bottom right where it's going 1920. If I'm at the bottom down here and I hit submit, some students think, oh, well, I'm done. There's nothing else to do. But you'll notice when I scroll up and down, it's only 21%. Uh-oh, that means that I have more that I need to answer. So when I click and type in my answer, I'm going to put in the worst possible answer ever. I'm not going to even restate the question. That's a terrible answer. Okay, so but once I hit submit, some people think that they're done, but they forget that there is more to read underneath. So look at the bottom right where you see 29, 30%. So this continues the article itself. Some people got lost and they tend to think, oh, I just finished, and they're wondering why they have an incomplete grade up in campus. So these are some tools that might be helpful to you. Some other ones that might be of use is there are some highlighting tools available for some kids. There is also a section where you can, let's go down here and we'll go to click on immediately. Notice when I click on a word, if I don't know what it is, I can highlight it, take a note, great. Hear it. If I don't know how to pronounce it, usually it pronounces it pretty well. Define, which means that it'll give me a definition if I don't know what that word means. And this is recorded into the assignment as well. So every time I click on a word and I come across ravening beast, what's a ravening? So I'm going to hear it.
Ravening.
And now hopefully it came up for you and it said ravening. So we pronounced that correctly. If I click on it, double click it again, I can define it. Oh, ravening means hungry and eager to kill. Ooh, hungry and eager to kill beasts. Ooh, acting like ravening beasts. That's terrible. And if I double click it again, I can translate it. For some folks, you'll notice that there are quite a few languages in here. It's easy to get lost in here, but this is intended to be a tool, not a toy. So do all your work first, and then you can figure that out in here as well. It does not have every single language. That would be fantastic. But look at the number of languages that you have down here. You can translate into most of the pieces that we're going to need, including Nepali. So Nepali is in there. Hopefully it comes out pretty good as well. But this translating tool, I can do this where I highlight an entire paragraph, for instance, and I want to translate to, whoops, let's try that again. Highlight the whole thing. And I can hear it, but it won't translate. So you have to be careful. It'll do it word by word, which would be a pain in the neck, or you can hear it.
Into this sheepfold of native peoples, There came some Spaniards who immediately
So again, it's the same idea that you just be pushing play up here. So those are some tools that you can use along the way that might be helpful in Actively Learn. It's not there to intended to get you or to be intentionally hard. So if the text is getting too hard for you, or if you're missing questions, this would definitely be an idea of ways that you can help you before you answer the questions down below. If you do have questions, please see me, and good luck on your future